guys, it's Robbie here, and this is FrekiFitWolf. So today I'm going to be doing another tag video, but this one is going to be more about what my channel is about and what I'm about, which is weight loss. So it is officially the weight loss advice tag. Alright, so I love tag videos. I love that we do get to learn about each other and get a little bit of insight into other YouTubers' personal lives. But at the same time, I wanted a tag video that is more about the focus. Especially right now, it is very hard for a lot of people to stay focused on weight loss. So that's why I'm tagging this. I created these questions and I am tagging 6 people in this video. Normally I try to keep it down a little bit, but since I wrote the questions, I can do what I want. So I am tagging Sandy from over at Let's Get Fit with Sandy. It's been a while since we've been able to tag each other, girls, so I'm finally doing it. So tag, you're it. I am tagging my friend Amy over at the TMI Queen Gets Fit. I am tagging Kat on Point, Dish with D, Jones Pointed Plate, and Lisa from Dumpy to Diva. These are all wonderful people and with varied, different weight loss journeys that I think can give some great advice and answer these questions very interestingly and very helpful, because ultimately we've got to find something to relate to in order to progress. So between this group of people, I think you guys can really find something that can help. This has all helped me a ton, these types of questions from other people before. And these are all questions that I've been asked or that I have asked people that have successfully lost weight. Obviously, still on my journey. So, yeah. Anyway, number 1, what method or plan did you or are you currently using to achieve your health and weight loss goals? So for me, I started this go around with the Carb Conscious plan on iTrackBites. It is the same thing as the old Weight Watchers Points Plus program. I end up transitioning into the iTrackBites Sugar Smart program, also the WW Green program. They're both the same program, just different apps. I did start to just use Weight Watchers, but I've started going back into iTrackBites because it can track calories at the same time as points. Because sometimes I've seen that I've met my point goal for the day, and I have, in reality, it turns out I barely have had any calories, or vice versa, because 0 point foods are not 0 calorie. So seeing that, say there's a day that I have a lot of 0 point foods and I have like 30 points left, but I've had like 1900 calories. This was literally yesterday. That can happen. So I use iTrackBites so that I can keep a better gauge on it instead of like, oh, well, I got to eat more because I have, 30 points left. Well, no, I'm at almost 2,000. I can eat a little bit more, but not much. I try to shoot for 2,200. And also with that, I am doing exercise with it. So strength training and cardio, I've built into it to help change my shape instead of just emptying out and deflating like a balloon. All right, number 2. 2 main tips you would give someone starting their weight loss / health journey. So the first one I would say is find your why. This is so important. If you do not have a reason that is powerful enough, it's going to be even harder to do. It needs to be powerful because you can't depend on motivation. Motivation is I've said it a lot, is a very flippant emotion. It's going to come and it's going to go. So you need a reason, a why that is powerful, that will keep you going. And then the number 2 advice I would say for anybody on this type of journey is track everything. Whether you're tracking calories or macros or points or just exercise, if you're not writing down and keeping track of what you're doing, you can't know if you're doing it correctly, for 1, and for 2, you can't track your progress. All right, number 3, what is your why? So my whys are, everybody's whys are personal. It's what matters the most to you. It's what keeps you up at night that you're upset about. So for me, 1 is my looks. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little vain. It's totally fine. I want to look sexy. Nothing wrong with saying that. But then also I have some deeper ones. My mom passed away when she was 55 years old. And all of it boils down to being caused by her obesity. She was 5'3" and 350 pounds. And it led to a lot of complications. It led to kidney failure, it led to diabetes, it led to infections. It was a very long and painful way for somebody to die. I don't want that. And I want to live as long as I can. So that is a huge reason for me. I've learned from her that where it can go. I don't want that for my life. Also, I have major back pain. When I was younger, they thought I would be in a wheelchair by the time I was 30. Pretty scary to tell a teenager, but that's what they told me. And I did lose weight before, and I've mentioned it numerous times. I've lost 140 pounds before, and that helped me prevent that from happening. But then I gained it all back, and the back pain is back. Even today, I'm having some. I'm down 60 pounds, but I still have like 100 more to go. So I still have that going on. Luckily right now it's just some back pain. It's not the spasms that I really can get. And then also the other part is just I want to be able to do stuff with people. I want to be able to go sit in a park. This happened to me recently. I didn't go, especially because of the pandemic. I thought it was weird. But friends were going to a park, sitting, socially distant from each other, but in lawn chairs in the grass. And for somebody my size, the first thing I think of is that chair is going to sink through the mud and I'm going to fall flat on my face. I want to be able to, somebody invites me to something, just be able to, yeah, I can do that. Cool. Without having to think of all these things. Because I was literally debating about going, and then I was like, ultimately, Corona. No. But I was debating on it because I'm like, okay, well, I can't do that. And some people are getting blankets. I can't get up and down off the ground very easily. It's very embarrassing. It's very awkward. I don't think I can do this. And I want to be able to say yes to things. I want to be able to, you want to go for a hike? Yeah, let's go freaking do it. Anything like that, I want to be able to do. All right, trying to talk a little bit quicker. I've recorded this already once, and it was like 30 minutes long. Let's not do that again. So next question is, what do you do when the scale doesn't show you what you expected it to? So one, I look back at my previous week. So, like I said, track everything. Look back and see, did you have a lot of extra sodium? Did you have a lot of extra sugar or other things that could be triggering that your body holds on to that it could be a false gain? And then two, if not, did you eat properly? Did you really actually do? Did you just stay within your points or did you eat healthy? Things like that. But from there, sometimes you just got to trust the program. There are going to be times where you behaved perfectly. There's no logical reason for the scale not to move. And it won't, or it could go up a little bit. You have to trust the program that you're on. And if you've truly honestly looked and know you did nothing wrong, sometimes it's just going to happen. And then also with me, I look for physical changes. I am exercising more, so that scale is barely moving. But visual changes are happening very dramatically. So with exercise, I have learned that the body shape changes more dramatically than what the scale moves. So keep an eye for that. Measure yourself. Things like that. All right, number 5. Have you fallen off plan? I threw this question in because I want everybody that watches these tags, everybody that does them, to know that every single person is going to say yes. We all have fallen off plan. Nobody is perfect. It's okay. So, number 6, what did you do to get back on track? That is the key point. All of us have fallen off, but all of us get back on and all of us keep going. That is very important. So for me, I focus on remembering my why. I keep pointing over here because I have a motivational board with my whys listed. But remember your why and hold those true. Refocus and just jump back in. That's all you can do. Just jump right back in. Say you fall, especially if you fall off like midday, jump back in right after you're done falling off. But sometimes you have to be a little bit more slow with it. So say, okay, tomorrow I'm going to stay on track perfectly. Shoot for that and keep adding in more days. But sometimes you need to be even more slow. So, okay, cool. I've fallen off for like 3 weeks now. Tomorrow, I'm not going to have any soda. Or tomorrow I'm not going to have any chips. Whatever your vice is, whatever one thing is that you can improve on, start with that. And then slowly work back, and you'll get back to where you were when you were on track. All right, number 7. What has been the hardest part of getting healthy / losing weight? Everything. I will say this is the hardest thing I've done in my entire life, but it is worth it. But more specifically, portion control and sticking to it. Those two things have been very, very hard for me throughout this journey. So with that, number 8, how did you overcome this? So first of all, practice makes perfect. Every time you mess up, every time you try something, you've got to learn from it. So with that, portion control. I tried different things. At first, I started saving points towards the end of the day because I'm typically more hungry at night. So I would save points all day so that I could have a huge meal at night. I like feeling full. I like feeling satisfied. I like feeling a little too full, honestly. So I would do that. Now I do more where I actually eat more meals throughout the day. And like I said, practice makes perfect. Sometimes there's been days where I'm like, oh, crud. I ate these 2 meals and now there's not a lot of points left and I'm really hungry. So you figure it out and learn what works best for you. That has helped me, especially now that I'm exercising more. I keep mentioning that I'm exercising. I'm proud of it because I've never done it. I've always hated it. Still don't like it, but I keep doing it. But with exercising more, you do need to eat more. So I eat within 30 minutes of waking up because that is important for your metabolism. If you eat within 30 minutes of waking up and eat steadily throughout the day, your metabolism speeds up, which for the long term, I'm a big picture thinker. I think of the future and what my metabolism is doing. That will help your metabolism down the road and especially now. So I do that. I eat a little something before exercising because that will give me energy and make me be able to perform better during exercise. A little bit after, and again, something that is related to repairing muscle and building up strength. And then have the lunch and dinner and a snack in between both. All right, and then as far as sticking to it, like I said, it just gets easier over time. Practice makes perfect. You fall off, you learn, you get back on. Number 10, any regrets about how you've lost weight? For me, I like to live by the method or the idea of have no regrets. Every situation that you're put in, good, bad, and ugly, has something you can learn from it. So I try not to regret things. I say I regret how I lost weight the first time because I did do it in an unhealthy way. But I learned from that. So I really can't say that I regret it. And as far as where my life has gone since then, where I'm at now, I have learned so much, so I can't regret the past. That's me personally, but everybody is different. Number 11. The last question is, how has your life improved since you started your journey? Mine has improved dramatically, and I'm only 60 pounds down. I don't like to say only because that's negative talk, but I have a long way to go. But because of everything I've learned and how my mentality has changed, that has been dramatic. That has been a side effect of weight loss that I didn't expect. The confidence that I have, I love myself. I love what I'm capable of learning and doing. I'm able to move around more, especially now that I'm doing exercise. Sorry, I keep saying it. But especially now with that, I'm able to move around more. I'm able to bounce around more. I mean, I still kind of flop, but I'm able to do it. And it is harder for me to get up and down off the ground, but because of certain exercises I'm doing, I'm able to do those more. I'm able to last longer when I do go on walks with friends. I miss being able to do that. When the world opens back up, I just want somebody to go on a walk with me. But so many ways, and especially, like I said, mentally. Being proud of yourself was something very hard for me, and I'm proud of myself. I say that very often, and I don't want to come off conceited. I've always been paranoid about that, but I've grown to understand that there is nothing wrong with being proud of who you are and what you're doing. And the more I'm able to do to improve my body and improve my health, that's just more reasons to be proud of myself. All right, so this one I got down to 15 minutes, and I answered pretty much the same. I guess I just talked a little bit slower. I don't know. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Again, I am tagging Sandy at Let's Get Fit with Sandy, Amy at the TMI Queen Gets Fit, Kat at the Cat on Point, or Cat on Point, not the Cat on Point, Denise with Dish with D, Joan from Joan's Point and Plate, and Lisa from Dumpy to Diva. They are all amazing channels. Their links will be in the description box. Check them out. Watch them. Love them. I do. Please comment. Let me know what you thought of this video, if you thought these questions were helpful. I feel like there were things that I have wanted to know over the years, so let me know. And like my video, subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will talk to you guys later.